You are in the middle of a Claude session. The work is going well. You send the next message and then you see it. You have reached your usage limit. Please try again in a few hours. Most people's first instinct is to upgrade their plan. Some of them do, and they hit the limit again anyway. The problem is almost never the plan. The problem is the workflow. Today, how Claude limits actually work, the 3 mistakes that drain your allocation fastest, and 7 specific fixes you can use today. I am Mario, this is AI Alpha. Let us get into it. How Claude limits actually work. Claude does not count messages. It counts tokens. Tokens are units of text, roughly 75 words per 100 tokens. Every message you send and every response Claude gives costs tokens. The critical thing most people do not know. Claude rereads your entire conversation every time you send a message. Your first message in a chat costs almost nothing. Your 20th message costs the equivalent of the whole conversation again. The longer the chat, the more every single message costs. The reset cycle. Your limit resets every 5 hours from the moment you send your first message. Not midnight, not a calendar day. 5 hours from your first message. Hit your limit at 2 p.m., back to full capacity at 7 p.m. The plans Pro costs $20, at least 45 messages per 5-hour session on standard tasks. Max 5 times more at $100, at least 225 messages per 5-hour session. Then you have the Max 20x at $200, at least 900 messages per 5-hour session. 3 mistakes that drain your allocation fastest. Drain number 1. Long conversations. Staying in the same chat for hours is the single biggest limit killer. Every new message rereads everything above it. A 50-message conversation costs dramatically more per message than a 5-message one. Drain number 2. Features left on when you do not need them. Extended thinking, web search, MCP connectors all add tokens to every response, even when you are writing a simple email and need none of them. Drain 3. Using Opus when Sonnet would do the job. Opus is the most powerful model and the most expensive in tokens. For most everyday tasks, Sonnet produces output that is 90% as good. Most people leave the model on Opus by default and wonder why they run out so quick. Now 7 fixes. Fix number 1. Start a new chat for every new topic. The single most impactful change you can make. When you finish a task, close the chat, start fresh for the next one. New topic equals new chat. Always. Fix number 2. Use projects for recurring context. If you re-explain the same context at the start of every chat, put it in a project. Documents uploaded to projects get cached. Cached content costs far fewer tokens than content pasted fresh every time. Set it up once. Context is there in every chat inside that project. Fix number 3. Use Sonnet by default. Switch to Opus only when needed. Change the default model to Sonnet in settings. Use Sonnet for emails, summaries, drafts, brainstorms, simple questions, and editing. Switch to Opus for complex reasoning, hard coding, strategic decisions. For most tasks, Sonnet is genuinely good enough. Fix number 4. Turn off features you are not using. Turn off extended thinking, web search, and connectors when not actively needed. Turn them on per task, off when the task is done. Saves 20 to 40% of your allocation depending on what you currently leave on. Fix number 5. Group your questions into single messages. 4 separate messages cost 4 round trips of the whole conversation. One message with 4 questions costs 1. Think before you send. Can I combine this with the previous question? Fix number 6. Use cloud memory to avoid repeating yourself. Go to settings, then to memory, tell Claude your role, preferences, reoccurring context. Claude injects it automatically without you pasting it every session. Save the tokens you burn, re-establishing context every single time. Fix number 7. Enable extra usage before upgrading. If you occasionally hit limits but not consistently, extra usage is better than upgrading. You go to settings, then to usage, and then enable extra usage. When you hit your plan limit, Claude continues at pay as you go. Only pay for what you use beyond the limit. Much cheaper than the next plan tier if you only need it occasionally. When to actually upgrade? After all 7 fixes, if you still hit limits regularly, then upgrade. Pro at $20, most individual users with normal daily tasks. Max 5x at $100, heavy users, content creators, developers, and cloud code users. Max 20x at $200 is for power users running multiple agents or are all day in cloud code. One thing to know, Claude.ai, Cloud Code, and Cloud Desktop all share the same limit. If you use Cloud Code heavily, it eats into your chat allocation. Plan accordingly. 7 fixes, none require spending more money. New chat for every new topic. Projects for recurring context. Sonnet by default. Opus only when needed. Turn off unused features. Group your questions. Use memory. Enable extra usage before upgrading. Start with the first 2. New chats and projects. Most people cut their limit hits in half with just those 2 changes. Do you hit your cloud limit regularly? And which plan are you on? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one of them. And if you want to go deeper on all of this, I run a community called AI University. Plain English AI explanations every single day. Link is in the description. Subscribe for more videos like this every day. See you in the next one.